what he has done and how he turned his program around in a little time that he has. So that's why we're celebrating this brother, man.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification button. As always, let's go! Welcome to the Nick Ferg Show, and this next guest doesn't need an introduction, but I'm going to give him one anyway. Music mogul, entrepreneur, and he's just added something new to his resume, so let's go ahead and talk about it. Master P, a.k.a. Percy Miller, thank you for joining the show. And the one thing that you have started was Broadus Foods in conjunction with Snoop Dogg. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, me and Snoop found a problem. When we start a business, we find a problem. When you look in the cereal game, in the breakfast food game, is no African-American owned company. And Broadus Food is definitely changing that. Together, me and Snoop, we're showing people that if we could do it, then they could do it. African-Americans is the #1 consumer of cereal, and we never owned a company or a brand like this. I mean, when you look at Broadus Food, it's no different than Kellogg's, Gucci, all these other big companies. These are family brands, and this is Snoop family name. We've been friends, brothers forever, and we said, let's get into this game and let's take over. Let's be the kings of breakfast food.
Well, that's very interesting because, I mean, obviously, I'm aware of both you and Snoop, your musical career, but more importantly, you starting in New Orleans and having to do things by yourself, grassroots. How was it that you took the same entrepreneur spirit that you had from a music career and jumped into an industry, like you said, there's not a lot of African-American faces?
Yeah, well, I put my trust and faith in God, and I realized that if we're going to build economic empowerment, then we need a piece of this. And then we could show that other brothers can come into this game in other fields and say that we don't just have to be athletes and entertainers, that we can actually own companies, be entrepreneurs, create economic empowerment for our culture and our people. And so that's what we was able to do with this brand. So when you look at it, I want you guys to see Snoop cereal is one of the biggest brands in the world. And this is bigger than the celebrity brand, because the more we make, the more we give. We have the Honey-O Snax, which is coming out soon. And then we was able to do something incredible, create a limited edition box for Coach Deion Sanders, probably one of the greats in college football now. Me and Snoop decided to celebrate him and put him on a box, everything that he stands for, what he mean, what he brings to the culture, the leadership, the fatherhood, just a great person in general. And we wanted to definitely celebrate him and putting him on a box of Snoop cereal. So we know he's been on a Wheatie box as a player, but as a coach, he never been on a box. And me and Snoop wanted to make history with him. So this is a blessing.
Now, I've seen you at CU on the field. Most recently, we were both there for homecoming. And when I saw you, I was just like, well, is this just part of the bunch of celebrities that are now kind of trend-setting, heading to Boulder? But it's now interesting to know that, hey, there is this collaboration taking place with Coach Prime. And you're no stranger to music and sports. So I definitely have to ask you this question. When Coach Prime came to Boulder, there was a lot of pushback as far as what people thought that he can do as a coach. You mentioned some of the things as far as being a coach and bringing that father element to it. But to those individuals who still have negative narrative things to say about Coach Prime, what do you say to those individuals?
No, but what I love about Coach Prime, he don't care about what people think or what people say about him. His love for the community, the culture, his family, other kids all over the world. I mean, I think that's what people need to look at. He's making the non-believers believe. When you look at what's happening in Colorado right now, I mean, he already won 4 games. They only won 1 game last year. So he is winning. They are way beyond. But I know one thing about Coach Prime. He loved to win. So he's not satisfied with it yet. And he's going to continue changing the game. But even through the adversity, I see how he is getting this team through it, getting his kids through it. There's nothing but love out there. And I just think that he has nothing to prove to nobody. I mean, the last coach that was there, they only won one game. Think about it, this has been going on for years. This man single-handedly has changed the whole culture in Colorado. When you look at that football team and look at all the different people he done brought together, whites, blacks, Asians, Latinos, Indians. I mean, all these different cultures he done brought together. In this city, in this community is making money because of Coach Prime and what he brought to the table. So you got to respect that as what he has done and how he turned his program around in a little time that he has. So that's why we're celebrating this brother, man. He's on our box. This is a limited edition box that you have to have. This is a collection item right now because Coach Prime, he's that guy. And he don't care about what people say. I mean, he's a blessing to so many people, man. And his blessing come way beyond what this world has to offer. So we love him. We're going to continue praising him. And the haters, they just going to keep falling back and motivating this man to do more stuff. And he's going to continue changing the culture. And we're behind him 150%. And I just love it to where I see brothers come from nothing and what they're able to do with their families and what this man has been able to do with college football. I mean, he's one of the greats. He the GOAT. So they can't stop him. I tell him all the time, you can't beat us, so you might as well adjourn us. So y'all might as well adjourn Coach Prime because next year going to be even bigger. And this year is not even done yet. So I just think that they're going to pull off something amazing. I see the games that we lost. Those games was right there. He know that he could have won those games. And the team understand that now. And I feel like they're going to do something even more incredible. So I just love the journey, man. It's not about what's happening right now. This man is on an incredible journey, and he's definitely blessed by the best.
Now, you mentioned Coach Prime and what he's done economically for Boulder, but Broadus Foods has done something economic for the people who purchase the products. You guys have this effort or this community push to help individuals who live or are actually homeless. Tell me a little bit about that charity work.
So our thing is to help give homeless people that have been through so many different things that we give them a second chance. We want to help them rebuild, get back into life. And so when you buy Snoop cereal, Broadus Food, the more we make, the more we give. You're getting somebody off the street. You're changing their life. So we put money back into the community and the culture. And that's what this is about for us. I keep telling people, this is bigger than cereal. Like now we have something that we can build and create, and we can put back into our community and our culture. So the more we make, the more we give. That's our motto. And we want to get families off of the street and make sure that we feed families and that we're doing our part. So as most successful as Broadus Food get, then the more people me and Snoop are able to help.
Now, as a person who's a music mogul, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask this question. When you look at the state of hip hop, has hip hop become a vehicle to enter corporate America? And the reason why I say that, I look at yourself, I look at Snoop, I look at Dr. Dre, the Beats, and Apple, and then also I look at Jay-Z as well. Are we now transcending on the direction where we're going to see more individuals in hip hop who ordinarily would not have been allowed in corporate America now heading towards that type of height?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely going to see more. We want to let people know if we're able to do it, there's going to be so many other people in hip hop growing, changing, and diversity into these grocery stores and diversity into these other products and brands that are being led by people that come from hip hop, because we're definitely trendsetters. We're definitely able to sell product for other companies. We're able to create and sell our own products. When you look at Fortune 500 companies, we only make up 1/10 of 1% as African Americans. And so as brothers and sisters in hip hop, I mean, my daughter has started her own company. So to have a female CEO now, I mean, we're changing the game. She created Pressure Records, Pressure hair care, Pressure makeup. And so we are thinking outside the box and building generational wealth so we can pass that knowledge and information down for generations. And I think that's where our mindsets are now. We're no longer thinking that we want to create dumb athletes to entertainers. Like we are educating, understanding what financial literacy is. We knowing that how to invest. We need 7 revenue streams. We're not just thinking just one way no more. And so that's why when you see this product, we saying, look, this is bigger than us. This is going to be around when we're not around. And that's what me and Coach Prime talked about the other day. I mean, look what he's doing, making sure his kids get into other avenues besides just sports. Because at the end of the day, I mean, Coach Prime was a hell of a player, but for the time catch up with you. And so now he's coaching. We need to make sure these kids know y'all need something to fall back on too at the same time, because you only can run and jump for so long, even as entertainers. Like, why not go out there while you hot, go create some products and brands? I mean, look at George Foreman. I mean, that's probably bigger than his boxing career ever could. He made more money with that grill than anything else. Michael Jordan made more money with the shoes than playing basketball. And so educating our people, educating our culture, is going to be so many more come behind us, and we're going to kick that door in to even that playing field. When we talk about creating bosses, it's not about what you have, it's what you give, and that's how we measure wealth. We have to be able to create ideas. It's not about money, how much money you have. No, how many ideas you have. What are you bringing to life in those ideas, and how you turning that into product, so you can be able to get that into these stores, and then be more people that look like us, that we can support their products and brands. So that's what this is about for me.
So just like in your music career, you ran into roadblocks. And I want to backtrack for just a second. How did you overcome the roadblocks and the hurdles going into this new breakfast food market?
Because every time they close the door, I went through a window, came through the chimney. I know that some people see, like, they started putting out product in the back of the stores. We just went into the stores, talked to the store managers, was nice to them, and said, you know what, we're the first Black-owned cereal company, but we created product for everybody, Blacks, whites, Asian, Latinos, everybody. Can y'all make sure y'all put our product in the front of your stores? We're just trying to add diversity. We know it's enough money for all of us. These companies been around over 100 years. We had a Black president, but we never had a Black-owned cereal company, a Black-owned breakfast food company. And so being able to go into these places, touch all these different places, getting people putting up the product when they get it, people posting up the product saying, oh, they're excited, they're happy that it's somebody that look like us, owns something that we eat all the time. We've been eating this over 100 years, but never owned it. So getting through that adversity, because they're not just going to let you in the door. If they put our product in, that means they got to take somebody off the shelf. So think about it. This product has to taste amazing for them to put it on the shelf, knowing that they're going to take something that's been on there for over 100 years off. So for me, we got to make sure this product tastes good first, and that we able to cater to the customer. So overcoming that adversity is just making sure you got great product and being consistent with what you have, and making our people a part of this. This is a movement. Like we're constantly growing, we're constantly getting better, and we're going to make even healthier products for our people. And we got oatmeal coming next. So the Mama Snoop oatmeal is coming next.
All right, speaking of that, I know when Coach Prime first came to Boulder, obviously it was a culture shock for him, and he walked into a restaurant and they didn't have grits. So I know with Mama Snoop, I think you guys have some grits products. Are you going to ship a bunch of them to Coach Prime? But more importantly, are you going to ship some grits to that Boulder area?
We're going to make sure they get it. We definitely going to flood it up, knowing that that's what Coach Prime love, and the people out there now, they adapting to that great food. You know, we're going to make sure they get it. So that's what this is about, changing the game, but being able to put product out there that we love. Because the thing about it, Aunt Mom and Uncle Ben, we thought that was Black-owned products, but it wasn't. It was like mockery of us, because these was just models on those packages. Now we have an opportunity to put real people that come from our culture and look like us and be able to put their product out there. It's so important, man. Like, this is why we march and we fight for all these years, and now we able to say, you know what, we actually have something. Even when we're not around, they're gonna say, you know, Master P and Snoop come from hip hop, but look what they was able to give to our culture. Some real product that we own, and we'll pass it down from generation to generation. So it's a blessing.
Well, you know, I love the story because like myself, like you and like Snoop, I too grew up in the hood of Miami, and I was able to get my way out of there to carve out an NFL career. So the story of you two guys coming together to build this company, to offer so much to the community, and then just offer, you know, great food, it's extraordinary. But I have to ask you this question before I let you go. Yeah. There are a lot of young entrepreneurs out there who are wondering how to get started. And I want to try to keep that entrepreneur spirit energy going. So for those individuals, you know, speak to them directly. As a young entrepreneur, what do you recommend that they do?
Well, one thing I recommend as a young entrepreneur, believe in yourself, believe in your products and your brands. You're not going to hit a home run unless you swing at the ball. Stop being afraid, create great product, and believe in it. And it start with consistency. I mean, what was the one thing that McDonald's sell with that Big Mac is consistency. And so it always tastes the same everywhere. So whether you got a clothing line, whether you have water, whether you have healthcare products, hair care products, it don't even matter. You have to believe in this, and you have to show people that you believe in it. If you don't, think about it, I get every chance I get, what I do. I'm marketing my product. I'm out there in my brand. I'm not afraid to grow. I'm not afraid to listen to constructive criticism. I've always want to make the customer happy. And so that's what this is about. It's not about you. Don't take this personal. Know what the customer wants and just keep trying to get better. All these major companies started out in their garage. Go look at Nike, all these companies. I mean, they went through the same thing that me and Snoop had to go through. We had to change our name. We lost millions of dollars, had to start over. Don't be afraid to fall. Don't be afraid of failure. I mean, if you look at Coach Prime, man, all those L's he turning into lessons. We're not taking it as losses. And so when you win, you're going to win big, but keep going, stay on the journey. Don't do this for money. Me and Snoop don't do this for money. We love it. I grew up mixing cereal, putting them in the bags, grew up on WIC, and I take this as my life. You know, I told Snoop, you know, that I'm putting my life into this, the same thing we put into the music industry. You know, how come we can't put this into Broadus Food, something that we know we build in a family brand and a name? So that's what this is about. Do something that you love. Don't get into it for the money, because you might not make money for a couple of years if you're an entrepreneur. Are you willing to weather that storm? Because if you're just in it for the money, you might not never make no money. But if you do the right thing, have integrity, God gonna continue blessing you, and your blessings gonna come, but it's not gonna happen overnight. And appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, I have to thank you, man, because your entrepreneur spirit, obviously you can see it. I mean, it comes out through your pores and everything that you've done, from No Limit Records to now Broadus Food. Keep inspiring, you know, not just young African-American people, just people everywhere through what you do and your hunger to just kind of get better. So I applaud you and Snoop for your entrepreneur spirit and what you've done. And make sure you go out there and get that cereal and get that grits as well. But more importantly, here in Colorado, you got to go get that Coach Prime cereal for sure. Hey, this is the Nick Ferg Show. Music mogul, entrepreneur, and CEO of Broadus Foods, Percy Miller, a.k.a. Master P, joining the show. Thank you for giving us some time.
Yes, sir. Salute. And y'all see the primetime Honey-O Snax. You heard me.